More on this from Derya Unutmaz, who joins us from Connecticut here in the U.S. He's an immunologist at the Jackson Laboratory. Really great to have you with us, Derya. Want to start
Thank you.
with the first question. The WHO says that they are suspending this while they conduct a safety assessment. This drug's been floated out here for a while. Is this a political decision or a health one?
So, under normal circumstances, the decision could be considered legitimate scientifically because there was a very large study in Lancet, one of the best clinical journals in the world. Uh, Although this was a retrospective study, in other words, it was not a design trial as WHO is doing. However, they looked at about 95,000 patients between December and April 14, and some of these patients have received about close to 10,000 hydroxychloroquine. And then they compared those who have taken this drug compared to the ones though who have not, and controlling for a variety of confounding factors, of course. And they concluded that the drug did not have any effect, and in fact, it had a slight increase in the mortality in the arm that the patients who have received the drug. Now, this study could be criticized because it's looking at backwards in terms of it wasn't a designed randomized trial, which is what we really need, and that's what the WHO is doing with this solidarity trial. However, given the scope of the analysis that they have done in Lancet study, that you can imagine that they were concerned, and that's why they paused the study that was ongoing, which is a randomized trial. Several countries are involved in it. But of course, this we're not in normal times. I think there might be some political aspect to it as well, because WHO has been concerned about Trump's statement, and given the sort of the animosity between Trump and WHO, maybe that they were trying to send a message that's still a possibility. But scientifically, there was a rationale to take this pause, and I suspect that they're going to restart the trial after reviewing their own data.
Hmm. So why do you think it is safe for people that have malaria, or even people that it's being used to treat lupus and arthritis and things like that, but the jury is still out on whether in fact it does help coronavirus patients, or as the president claims, that it could prevent an outbreak of COVID-19?
So yeah, this drug has been used for a long time, I think 50, 60 years. It does have some side effects. It can cause certain heart arrhythmias, and that could be deadly. And in fact, there have been some cases where people have died, but under close control or supervision by a doctor or in hospital, that can be controlled. So it's not a very unsafe drug per se. And there was some reasons why this could be used in COVID-19 because it has some effect at the laboratory setting to block the viral replication or infection into the cells. And there were a couple of reports, although very, very small trials, suggested there might be helping. Now, the problem is that it might really depend on at what stage you give this drug to the person. Clearly, I don't think it has any preventive function whatsoever. So, what Trump is doing is probably pointless. There's no evidence whatsoever on that. However, if you give the drug early on, that it might actually reduce the replication of the virus, and some people might be helped by that. But if you give the drug later on, when people are in ICU, they also, with this infection, tend to have some heart problems as well. So it's not inconceivable that when you give this drug, which can have some heart side effects, and these people already have heart problems, that together that might actually be much more deadly, or the side effects could be amplified at that stage. And we don't know the answer to these questions. That's why these clinical trials are so critical. And unless we conclude these randomized trials, will not we're not going to have a very definitive response either.
All right, Derya Unutmaz, we really appreciate you coming on to give us your medical opinion. Thanks for that.